Anticipation is building as we speak for the Duel in the Pool, brought to you by Stuff and Things, but mostly Stuff. My cohort, Brent Holler, is standing alongside as always. I'm Ben Gisselson here to bring you some hard-hitting Innertube water polo playoff action.
These teams of the St. Olaf Co-Ed Intramural Innertube Water Polo League of North America have made it through an absolutely grueling 2-week regular season and now stare this heralded second season in the face. Nerves have been running high around campus for a while now, and let's just say both of these squads tonight are extremely hungry and have their set sight on intramural glory and the championship. But mostly their own t-shirt that says the word champion on it.
Well, Brent, and of course the real prize, aside from monumental bragging rights, of course, is the coveted Caroline Bernhardt Memorial Trophy, or as fans and players call it, the Bernie.
And 2 or 3 more victories are all that separate these teams from eternal glory. I say 2 or 3 because I don't actually know how many games are in these playoffs. I really didn't do my research, Ben.
Well, Brent, our fans at home are without a doubt chomping at the bit to get to the action. But let's send it down to our poolside analyst, Connor Quinn, who's in between the lanes. Connor?
Thanks, guys. The atmosphere here at St. Olaf is absolutely electric. Before today's game, I talked with pool attendant David Schwimmer. He says pool conditions are ideal. Buoyancy is perfect, and the mixture of chlorine is just right. Look for a fast-paced north-south game between these two squads. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Connor. Connor Quinn reporting down at poolside as always. Now, Brent, as we take a glance back at the regular season, each of these teams only saw each other once during the year, and by the looks of it, it was a hard-fought battle.
Now, these two teams met all the way back in the beginning of March, and it was a spirited affair to say the least. The slow swimmers came out flying. They played the body. They forechecked intensely. For most of the game, they dominated the freshman 15. But the second half has not been so kind to the slow swimmers, and this one exploded in their faces. The freshman 15 stormed back, and with 28 seconds left, some guy scored his 3rd goal of the game, which stood as the winner.
Well, we are minutes from tip-off, or whatever you call the beginning of an Innertube water polo match, but before we bring you the action, let's hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching the Duel in the Pool, brought to you by Stuff and Things Radio here on the Quadplex Sports Network. And we are now up in the booth. Brent Hollerud alongside as always as we send this one down to Jim Carroll for tonight's starting lineups. Hello everyone and welcome to the Northfield Auditorium for tonight. The Duel in the Pool is about to commence. And now let's hear tonight's starting lineup. Starting in net for the slow swimmers. Number 1, Samuel Adams. Starting at defense for your slow swimmers. Teaching Harry Potter sucks, Brandon Berger. Starting at defense, she once threw a frisbee over 5 yards, Carolyn Pressman. Starting at forward, he had a full ride to Alabama for football, but decided to come to Olaf instead to play the piano. Number 6, Nicholas Hopkins. Starting at forward, she brings pretty little pictures. Number 5, Catherine Fitzgerald. Starting at forward, at an astonishing 7'3", number 8, Danielle Larson.
And now, starting lineup for your freshman 15. Starting in goal, she really has a knack for attracting Adirondack Texans. Number 1, Charlotte Olaf. Starting at defense, he makes a mean beef ravioli. Number 2, Joel Tarzales. Starting at defense, she fell asleep once during Christmas fest. Number 7, Hannah Erickson. Starting at defense, she was once yelled at by the lunch lady Thon in the cafeteria. Number 20, Lauren Sevskis. And that's your starting lineup. All right, let's play Innertube, Intramural, Co-ed, Water Polo.
A notable omission from today's slow swimmer lineup is co-captain Caroline Bressman. Bressman was pulled from warm-ups after a case of plugged ears. Team trainer said she's day-to-day as of now. There's no timetable on her return. Slow swimmers wish a speedy recovery for her. They desperately need her back in the lineup. Yes, Holly, back to you.
And we are back here as the game is about to commence here at the Northfield Aquatorium, and I'm not quite sure what the opening of the game is, but we are underway, folks. The fans have been pouring in tonight, and it looks like the slow swimmers are off to a slow start, Brent.
You know, it's in their name. It's not really a surprise, but the intensity in the building is palpable, Ben. The crowd is loving it. Oh, Steve Papsiak, and that's pretty much it. So I'm excited to get things going here.
And on the attack now, here come they're both called, I have the same rosters.
Goal.
And there's a goal.
Goal horn.
There's a goal. They score. Yeah, pay attention.
Wait, just wait for the next one.
So 1-0 our score, and the slow swimmers are back on, the freshman 15 are back on the attack. There's a drive on net, and that one is good stop there in the pipes, and that was Samuel Adams with the stop there in the net.
You know, Mr. Adams is well known for making these crazy saves.
There's another drive and a good stop in between the pipes there. That time it was Tatum Byer with the save.
They're switching out goalies already.
I need the freshman 15 roster. That's what I need. Yeah. And the slow swimmers will regain the ball. It's Brandon Berger, long lead pass, finding Hannah Erickson up the left wing wall. Erickson pumping those legs, turning towards the net now. Erickson, little cross ice pass. Here's a chance in front for Berger. Berger, drive, scores! And Berger with a rocket, and that one hit off the post, and it's a 2-0 start here, quick for the slow swimmers.
You know, they're going to need to jump back in this thing. These games have a tendency to snowball on them. Let's see if they can respond.
And here's Danny Larson, a drive. There's a save. Oh, and that one rung off the iron.
She's going to want to try UPS because the Postal Service is not working for her today.
Well, one big story we talked about before the game, Danny Larson, was a game-time decision. She was not quite sure if she was going to play tonight. She had a lot of homework to do, and we know that's a big deal here at St. Olaf, Brent.
But you know, the slow swimmers rely on Miss Larson for blistering slap shots we just seen, and her leadership. So luckily for that team, she's able to come out and play tonight. So
Erickson now weighing her out, and she's got pressure now on her is Tatum Byer. Nice little outlet pass. There's a drive. Oh, and they score again. 3-0, and another blistering rocket. That's Berger's second of the game, Brent.
you know, she's on fire. Let's go, Mueller. Here's late last minute call up. Bradley Mueller just called up moments before tonight's game from the farm squad. Let's see if he can have an impact on this game.
Here's a chance for Larson, scores! And Danny Larson from the classroom to the pool. She can do it all.
That's a 5-tool athlete right there.
And we're not quite sure what happened there. A ball deflected up and out of play, and boy, it seems like there's no refs down there. Someone's got to get the ball for him.
Absolute anarchy out there, Ben. Not sure what's going on.
Now let's throw it down to Connor Quinn, who's in between the lanes, and he's got a guest interview for us. Connor?
Guys, the freshman 15 has implemented a 3-hard forecheck on that last goal by Francisco from economics class.
Really?
They caused a turnover, pressuring the goalkeeper and getting a hard shot on goal that the goalie had no chance of stopping. Continue to look for the 3-hard forecheck by the freshman 15. Guys, back to you.
And Erickson will go and grab the ball, and looks like we're going to be back on their player. That will be the freshman 15 ball as stout, sturdy defenseman Brad Mueller breaks this puck out of his own zone.
Well, this game is much faster paced than I thought. They're not giving us any time to think.
Nice pass to Larson again. She can really fire, and that one's turned away by Samuel, or excuse me, who's their goalie again, Brent? Sam Adams. Thank you to our production assistant, Henrik Wood, who's always, makes us look good, Brent.
You know, absolutely, because we try to mess it up, but he saves us every time. If you take a look back at that last play, you saw the fierce look in Danny Larson's eyes before she unleashed that ball of fury on the net.
Well, it looks like they're really trying to put a focal point on Larson to try to get her shot off early. I mean, you can tell she can shoot. I think they're putting a precedence on trying to get her shot off.
If I was the freshman 15 defense, I'd want to know where Miss Larson is at all times. She is lethal out there.
Again, they find Larson. She's eyeing up the goal. Larson, they're giving her a lot of time out there, Brendan. She's walking in. 2-on-1 now with Fitzgerald. Larson fires top corner, and that one just missed up wide left of the net.
She just sailed that one just a little wide. She had Fitzgerald wide open on the wing. Surprisingly, she didn't pass the ball there.
Long lead pass. Mueller gets caught. There's a draw, and what a save there by Fire. I wish our rosters were up to date, Brent. It would make this job so much easier.
You know, it's hard when they're not wearing numbers, Ben. It is really hard.
And Leah Stinson is the actual goalie. We've just been reported from our sideline reporter, Connor Quinn. And here's another chance. That one skips in. Oh, and another stop by Stinson. And that was Joel Carrizales there with a chance.
Fit. Work harder, Mueller.
Mueller stepping into the play, finds Fitzgerald. She fires, and that one again missing wide left. Another good opportunity by Fitzgerald. Her first shot of the night, though. So if the scoreboard was working, we'd be able to tell you how much time is left in the first half, but we flat out don't know, Brent. The score is 3-0, if I'm not mistaken. Here's Erickson, a chance. That one rings up off the dinner bell.
Tonight's first half has been brought to you by your friend in the diamond business, the Shane Company. In Minnetonka at 394 in Hopkins Crossroads, and Woodbury 994 in Radio Drive. Open weekdays till 8, Saturday, Sunday till 5. Online at ShaneCo.com.
And there's a score. They shoot and score. Fitzgerald, that's her second of the night.
Score.
I tell you what, Brent, it's getting awful hot in here right now.
I am sweating bullets.
All the energy out there in the pool is working its way up here into the stands.
I'm telling you, I'm sweating bullets.
There's another goal from Berger. He's already got a hat trick tonight. There's a reason why he's in the top 3 in scoring in the league. Fitzgerald now walking in all alone. Oh, and that one hit the top of the crossbar.
So close, but yet so far, Ben.
Fitzgerald working against Sam Adams, the goalie for the slow swimmers.
Falls out of her tube.
That would be a penalty, and if anyone falls out of their tube, if I'm not mistaken, it is a penalty, and we will see a power play.
Can't wait to see one of those.
There's a long drive, skips up and in, and there's another goal for the slow swimmers as they're running away with this one already, Brent.
This is, actually, I believe the freshman 15 are up by a lot. You might have the teams.
Oh, I've had the teams mistaken this whole time.
Classic mistake.
My
man.
apologies to all you out there listening. As we've said, the pregame production for this, although we worked extremely hard on it, is a little scatterbrained at times.
You know, they're not wearing matching uniforms, which would make things very difficult out there.
And gathering his own zone is Willie Christensen, stout defender. He won ABA Defensive Player of the Year last year in this league, and he makes a nice breakout pass to Erickson up the wing. Long lead pass, that one broken up by Mueller. Another guy who's up for that ABA Player of the Year this year, Brent.
Absolutely, man. Look at the powerful dog paddle there. Absolutely cruising in the water. I talked to the slow swimmer strength and conditioning coach, Jim Chotchke, before the game, and he says that their explosive speed is a direct result of their dedication and hard work in the weight room. They have been doing kettlebells and CrossFit for months, and just for this game right here, hopefully it all pays off.
And we just saw a narrow miss there by Erickson. She had a goal earlier tonight. And back come the slow swimmers. There's a long drive, skips up and in, and the swimmers are right back up on the board. Only down by, well, let's see, 4 now, Brent? Is it 6-2?
You know,
I tell you, a scoreboard would be so helpful. And there's another long drive, and boy, oh boy, look at the gun on that kid.
I tell you, the slow swimmer's goaltender is developing a case of sunburn for that red light being behind her the whole time.
And the slow swimmer's trying to get back. Very apparent this game's going to be a very offensive one, Brent.
Absolutely not.
Fitzgerald.
To be seen. There's a big save.
Fitzgerald didn't quite get a lot of mustard on that one, as we've seen before. She can really let her go, but maybe that time didn't quite have the sights registered correctly.
Yeah, you know, it happens out there. The ball's slippery, as you know, there is water in the pool. The ball can get awfully slippery there. Cause for a little few fan shot like that.
And there's a shot that rings the dinner bell. That one off the left post.
Well, I tell you, Ben, you got a way with the English language, my friend.
Well, thank you, Brent. I'll take that as a compliment. You're a wordsmith yourself. Burning down the right side now. is Berger. He'll move it over now to Erickson. Erickson lofts one in on the net, and that one zips just over the top of the crossbar.
And the ref scores.
Someone get that guy an Innertube. Mueller, long pass. That one deflects up and out of play. And we will head to our first break of the night. Our score right now, 6-2 here at the Northfield Aquatorium. The freshman 15 off to a hot start. And now let's throw it down to Connor Quinn, who's poolside, who's got an in-depth look on Innertubes. Connor?
Thanks, guys. I talked with equipment manager Jasper Kozak Miller between periods. He provided me with the latest certified U.S. National Innertube Polo Association certified Innertube. This thing is durable rubber. It can hold all shapes and sizes. It's what all the participants are using, and sponsored by Bauer. Guys, back to you.
Tonight's battle is brought to you by the Shane Company, Royal Farms Fresh Never Frozen Chicken, El Bubble Bubble Gum Cigars, Minotaur Energy Drink, Taste the Beast, Minotaur, the Lion's Paws, call 6969 for a good time, Funny Face Drinks by Pillsbury, and the Bismarck Bobcats Junior Hockey Club. Are you a Bobcat? John Avino is.
And we are back, and there's a shot and a goal. As the goal horn sounds again, 6-3 our score. That was Larson again. I think that's her third of the night. She's really set the marks up high so far.
She's got the hot hand in there. That's why she commands $20 a season.
In this match, and we can't really quite figure it out, but we're working on it. There's a shot then and a good stop there again by Stinson. She got those hands up and used those meaty paws of hers to knock that ball right out, right away.
Yeah.
Guys, pay attention to the game.
And the fans heckling from the stands right now.
I tell you, this crowd is getting ornery out here. These are some angry slow swimmers fans, not very happy with where their team is.
Fitzgerald in draw, and what a kick save there by Adams. Absolute larceny.
Kick save and a beauty, Ben. We might have to jump in the pool after this.
Well, Adams proving why he's been an absolute backstop for this team throughout the whole year. A very skilled team in front of him, some might say, but my oh my. There's another drive, that time coming from Benjamin Kitching at mid-ice, or mid-pool, I should say.
You know, if they turn down the thermostat, we might have ice out here, Ben.
And nearing the midway point in the game, we think. Fitzgerald again facing a bad back check. That one up and in. And a good shot by Fitzgerald, and it's 6-4. Look out, Brent. The slow swimmers might be making a slow comeback here.
You know, the slowest swimmers are a notorious second half team. Let's hope they have a nice comeback here. Only time will tell, Ben.
Back comes Kitching now. At mid-pool, looking for an outlet. He's looking like he might shoot this one. Tries to skip one in, and a nice job by reaching behind and grabbing that one. And now let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Ben.
Send it down to PA announcer Jim Carroll.
Attendance for tonight's Duel in the Pool, 6. That is a Intramural, Innertube, water, polo, co-recreational playoff record. Thank you for all your support.
And in our break, there was a goal, that again by Hannah Erickson. She's got 4 tonight. She's the captain of this freshman 15 team. And Fitzgerald rips one home. That's her 4th of the night.
And here's a reminder to bring your Duel in the Pool ticket stub to the Lions Paws for a free large pizza, courtesy of Tom Shane. The Paws is proud to be the home of the most dilapidated pool table this side of the Mississippi, and the only large screen TV on campus. The Lions Paws. You wanted pineapple on that, right?
Thank you, Mr. Carroll, giving us another one of our proud sponsors, that being the Lions Paws of Northfield. And I tell you what, even though the fans haven't poured in, the sponsorship sure did. I mean, a lot of people definitely really saw this game as a really good opportunity to get their name out there.
And by an absolute display of sportsmanship, Fitzgerald apologized after missing the net.
Well, you know, one of the scouting reports we had on Fitzgerald was she's just that nice of a person. I mean, there's not many bad things you can say about her, and it shows right there with that kind of cordial spirit in the game. A real sportsman in the league.
You don't see that kind of gamesmanship much anymore, but it's refreshing to see.
Speaking of sportsmanship, Captain Hannah Erickson will now swim her way down the ice. Erickson, nice little pass now to Kitching. Kitching putting his sights on the net. Back now to Berger. Berger covered by Larson, finds Erickson a drive. Oh, and a good stop there by Stinson. She's faced a lot of, what is exactly a ball made of? I'm not exactly, I wanted to say rubber, but.
Polymer blend.
She's faced a lot of that tonight, and she's done pretty well. Here's a breakaway chance. Oh, and another big save by Stinson. She's keeping her team in the game right now, Brent.
Absolutely incredible.
7-4 our score here at the Northfield Aquatorium. Round 1 of the opening playoffs here at the Innertube Water Polo Championships of America. Back comes Kitching. Kitching skips one in, and it's 8-4.
It's a shame. As you see there on that play, Bradley Mueller playing an impeccable Bill Butters, but the shot was able to still get around him.
Of course, Bill Butters referring to the sport of hockey and an old gritty player of the Minnesota North Stars who St. Olaf hockey coach Sean Goldsworthy often refers to, and we've got halftime.
There's the end of the first half.
So a hard-fought first half here at the Northfield Auditorium, and as we send this one down to Connor Quinn, who will have some interviews down poolside. Connor?
Four-time All-Star Gabe of the freshman 15. Gabe, tell me about your team's scoring strategy today.
We just kind of get out there, do whatever, throw the ball, go for net.
And can you elaborate? You've had a prolific career here at St. Olaf. Can you elaborate on your swimming technique?
I couldn't have done it without these guys. We got a good coach, Summer up there, and the fan base is really good tonight, so it's really good to get us motivated.
All right. Now, can you elaborate on your swimming technique?
Yeah, one hand behind the other, just kind of alternate.
All right, and there you heard it. Captain and All-Star Gabe. Guys, back to you.
Announcing our Minotaur fan of the game, sitting in section 5, row 12, Steve Papsiak. Steve, of course, wins a year's supply of Minotaur. Tasty Minotaur. Now, I'm going to quick interview with Mr. Papsiak. What brings you to Steve?
I've been a long time fan of the sport, and I gave these teams are two of the top competitors in the league, so I wanted to go ahead and that.
It's an absolutely thrilling display of athletic prowess out there. What's been your favorite moment so far in that team?
Either Captain Fitzgerald ripping up top corner or Brad Mueller falling off his inner tube on a regular basis.
Mueller called last second call up from the farm team. He's been doing okay so far. Let's hope the second half is better.
He can only improve from here, Brad.
Way to look at the silver line. Now back to the action.
We are back here in the second half here at the Aquatorium of Northfield. And our score is 8-4 in favor of the slow swimmers, the freshman 15. And the teams have switched ends, and they've rested up, and they've got their electrolytes back in them, and I know they probably lost a lot in the first. It was a pretty hard fought first, although the score maybe didn't show it.
I talked to both teams' strength
and
and
another
conditioning
goal.
coaches, and don't worry, because the St. Olaf Intramural Water Polo League is so as incredible as it is, they supplied Gatorades and orange slices to both squads in the intermission. So both teams hydrated, ready to go. Let's have another exciting half of water polo.
And we had 2 goals there as Morkberg Torbjorn fired one into the back of the net.
Is that a real name?
What a rocket.
I believe it's Jorborn Morkeberg, but it doesn't. That's just semantics, man.
And there's another goal this time, and we've seen goalie Samuel Adams is out of the net, and look at he can shoot too.
This tender has more holes than a bowl of Cheerios.
And Fitzgerald floating behind the D, literally floating, and that one's fired up high over the top of the net.
Well, once again, apologizes for shooting it wide.
Anyways, we'll move back to the action now. There's another goal, and our score is 10-6. In favor of the freshman 15. Here's a chance for Mjorkbjorg. Scores!
Now in net for the slow swimmers, number 00, Bradley Mueller.
I tell you what, his package is looking really good in those trunks, Brent.
I tell you, when you're right, you're right.
Mueller, long stretch pass. He finds Yorkborg. Yorkborg now, covered by Erickson. He'll move it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald winds, fires, and again, boy, her sights are off tonight, Brent.
I tell you, you need to recalibrate that scope because that shot went to a different zip code.
And lucky fan will go home with the game ball, and that lucky fan, it probably would be Steve Papstad because he's the only one here. But we'll see if he gets up to go and get that ball. But anyways, we'll go back down to poolside. And there's, look out, and there's teeth flying down there.
You know, they never say water polo wasn't a tough game, Ben. These players have grit, they have balls, at least half of them do.
Right you are, Brent, right you are, they do. Only half of them, well at least we think half.
Ben.
Fast break now for Erickson. She'll lob one up top corner, and boy, she's on fire tonight. That's her 7th goal. Erickson near approaching the all-time record for goals in a game of 12. She's well on her way with 7 right now.
The Duel in the Pool would like to remind all spectators, please watch out for flying balls. Stuff and things, but mostly stuff, is not liable for any injuries concurrent in the Duel in the Pool. Thank you.
Here's a chance in front from Yorkborg. Takes a peek, trying to pick his corner and scores. Yorkborg, all of a sudden, they move him up to forward, and he's getting her done right now.
I tell you, the coach been switching lines a little bit. It's been paying off. Slow Swimmers making a second half comeback.
Score 11-8, maybe? What do you think, Henrik?
Good question there. I don't know.
And Yorkborg, and there's a big stop. That time it's by former defenseman Benjamin Kitching, who's moved into the nets.
I tell you, a scoreboard would make telling what the score was a little easier here tonight.
Long lead pass from Kitching, little quick outlet pass to Erickson. She can really fly. Erickson trying to cut a corner. She's held up, and good defensive play there by the Slow Swimmers.
Look at that doggy paddle there. He is just, there is an absolute wake behind her there.
And it seems they're running some sort of a play here. Could it be like a home run type pass? Look at the passing out here. Tantalizing. Oh, and he goes for an acrobatic play. Oh, goodness, that would have been something else, Brent. What an attempt.
Paul Stewart Scott, get down the Sports Center top 10. We have a bicycle kick attempt in water polo. I'm beside myself.
Absolutely flabbergasted, Brent, up here in the booth. Our score again, 11-8, we think. To the middle from Yorkborg. Yorkborg skip. Oh, and what a save! The long arm of the law of Benjamin Kitching says no.
I tell you, this keeper reminds me a lot of Jim Craig back there. If only Jim Craig had a fraction of the talent and was floating around in Innertube.
Excellent correlation there, Brent. Once again, for those of you just tuning in, we are watching Innertube Intramural water polo.
Might have an injury on the play. Danny Larson went down hard there. Looks like she's slow to get up. Nope, she's just getting the ball. But she's a battler out there. Look for her to get right back into this one.
I mean, don't underestimate falling out of your tube. That's a solid 3-4 inches you're falling into water if you're coming off that tube.
I tell you, that water is pretty hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And does anyone see, was that a goal that was just scored?
I don't think
Ben,
so.
Steve, did you see? I don't know. Steve doesn't know. Okay. So Mueller will regain. We still think the score is 11-8. This may be the longest the game's gone without a goal.
It's a defensive battle out there. We have a battle for the ball there.
Smothered at mid pool. It's a good little breakout play, and Larson's wide open in front. And another wonderful save by Kitching.
They cannot crack this freshman 15 goaltender right now. Just impeccable back there.
Long lead pass, Fitzgerald and Adams battling for it. Mueller will come out to play this one. And you talk about the goaltenders for the freshman 15, and you have to think when you have the kind of talent like Kitching and Adams who can backstop in the net, it's got to be a tough egg to crack for the opposing team.
I tell you, the scouts are all over these two guys. They'll be hot commodities in next year's draft.
Larson in front. Oh, and another save. A tantalizing stop that time again by Kitching. He said no to just about everything so far in this second half.
Tonight's second half has been brought to you by the Northfield Ballroom. Come to the St. Patrick's Day party this Saturday starting at 11 p.m. 21 to drink, 18 to party, unless you're really sneaky. The Legion.
Welcoming you back now, Erickson with another chance. That would have been her 8th of the game, and Mueller made a nice stop there as he switches out from goaltender. Back into the nets goes Carolyn Bressman. She will be in between the pipes now for the remainder of this game, we think.
I tell you, Mules is a jack of all trades out there. I saw him filling up the tire pressure of the team's bus before this game. He literally does everything out there.
You could almost compare him to that of a Ron Coomer of the Minnesota Twins back when he used to play. And there's another long shot. That time it was Mueller. And he let a laser go from the top of the circle, and that one skittered just wide. There's a long attempt, and that one missed by a country mile over the top of the crossbar, and we'll have to reset here. Again, we're not quite sure what exact the time is remaining here in this game.
Can't imagine there's a lot left.
Time seems to move slowly in water polo, as does everything else. And we've had some other people filtering in for the next game, and also some swimmers down poolside working on their breaststrokes.
And contact in the left sideboards. Danny Larson's mixing it up with one of the freshman 15 forwards. She has been known to get into the rough stuff every once in a while.
That freshman 15 forward, I believe, is sophomore Andrew Colton. And there's a shot, and finally somebody beats Kitching. And look at who it was. Jack of all trades, Brad Mueller, Brent. 11-9 the score. Erickson all alone in front. A chance scores. Erickson's 8th of the night. She keeps marching towards that record of 12, Brent.
That's a backbreaker. That is a backbreaker of a goal right there.
Well, when you watch Erickson, you tend to think that, to score in water polo, you have to have an absolute rocket of a shot. She doesn't necessarily have a cannon. She's got great placement.
Unlike that shot by Larson, that was not even close.
Larson with 5 goals of herself.
I tell you, she should quit worrying about fraternizing with the other team and start worrying about putting the ball in the net. Her team is behind.
Maybe needs to know it's not really a social event out there. This is a sporting event, despite what you may think.
This is a playoff game, may we add.
Erickson looking to wind and fire again. She got a lot on that one. It almost looks like she propels herself backwards when she shoots, Brent. Is that a sort of a, from your black and your water polo playing, is that an actual thing people work on, that they backpedal before they shoot?
Nope. That's the first time I've seen that, Ben. I've never seen that.
Maybe a little bit of a new age thing. And there's another great save by Kitching. And it seems, Brent, I wish we could get some sort of a clarification from our people down low there. It seems that the freshman 15, whenever the Kitching gets the ball, they're yelling Oklahoma, is it?
I believe so.
Some sort of a play call, maybe.
They're down. It's getting late in the game. They got to pull out some out of their bag of tricks. Let's see if it works out.
Chance, and there's Bjorkborg again, who's really come out of his shell here in the second. And our score right now, 12-10, Brent. They're within 2, but look out. Here comes hot Anna Erickson down the right wing. Shooting again, she scores. That's number 9 on the night. She's almost got as many goals as the full swimmers do, Brent.
I tell you, she digs Bradley Mueller right out of his tube. He is absolutely embarrassed on that play. He goes top shelf where Mama hides the floaty wings.
And Fitzgerald seemingly just sitting with the ball. We're not quite sure what's happening. She's pointing to the crowd. What could happen here?
Not even close.
I tell you what, when you talk about embarrassing, Brent, that's the definition. If she falls off her tube, boy, oh boy, you can't pull that kind of thing and then not capitalize.
Shades of Owen Noel in there, points out her shot, but instead shanks it about 10 feet over the net. You hate to see it.
And Kitching will gather in his own zone. Nice little lob pass. Again, they're getting it to Erickson. They're giving her a lot of room. You'd think they might put 1 or 2 players on Erickson over there, because right now she's almost unstoppable.
If we were playing HL 3D hockey, she'd be on fire right now.
Good defensive play by Mueller there. Mueller is all over the place out there. Mueller is down, and a big hit at open water, I guess.
I talked to the slow swimmers coach about Mueller, and he said he's a big old bitch in front of that net.
Boy, oh boy, another chance for Fitzgerald squandered. And Larson looks visibly upset at Fitzgerald right now. I think she's saying if Fitzgerald buries on half of her chances, they might be winning this game right now, Brett.
I think so. They seem to be having an altercation in their own end. They're not sure the game is still going. They should better get in there.
See, the intensity seems to be tapering off a bit here towards the end. Lots of players looking at their, underwater-proof watches, of course, in the pool and seeing, when's this one going to be over with. But it's a tight game right now, Brett. You can't forget, this is playoffs. This is win or go home, and it's only a 2-goal game right now.
And Larson, 2-on-0.
Larson with it now. She's got Fitzgerald. She's not passing, and again they missed the net. Boy, oh boy, these guys got to go back to the drawing board and work on their shooting, Brett.
I tell you, if they end up losing tonight, they know exactly why. They need to work on finishing on their hot man rushes. little more 15 and 10. Of course, the teams in our next match are warming up in the sidelines.
And Oklahoma again as they call it back to Kitching. Kitching right back now to Colton. And they go back, but look out, could be a turnover. Here's a foot race, or a swim race you should say. Kitching will get there first and fire it, and they're just playing pitch and catch. It seems that one almost hits Fitzgerald in the noggin.
I believe they do use their feet to swim as well, so I think you can call it a foot race.
And Larson with a chance. She's got Kitching out of the net, and there's another miraculous save by Kitching.
Fingertip save and a beauty. This guy has been on fire in the second half.
Kitching now. He finds Darren Steffel. Steffel to Erickson. She'll shoot again. That one hit the post. Mueller collecting.
Just lethal in the left slot.
And where's the defense right now for the freshman 15? As in comes sniper Danny Larson all alone. It's Larson versus Kitching. Shoots. Oh, and she hits the post. And just disgruntled and visibly irritated in front of the net. They just can't beat Kitching.
I tell you, that body language tells you all you need to know. She is visibly upset. That is 3 shots in a row. She's either sailed wide or hit the post.
Here comes
snake bit out there.
Comes Erickson again. She's leading the game in shots. So it looks like she might shoot again here. She's having a discussion. And they try for the... And it almost strikes an innocent bystander outside of the pool.
No one is safe in this pool here.
And there's the 5-minute warning. 2 goals is all that separates these two teams. Interesting choice. They seem to be doing more talking right now than playing, but there's 5 minutes left in the game, Brent. What are they doing?
Crunch time. They're down by how many? 3, 4, 5?
Another foot race for the ball. This time Fitzgerald wins it. She finds Larson. Larson's coming in all alone. And it seems that Kitching's got a ball, and well, a ball into the net. That's going to count as a goal. It's a goal.
It's a goal.
And so it looked like, and that will be the final. And a tantalizing finish. Only 1 goal separates these two teams. A hard-fought battle here at the Northfield Aquatorium, and Larson just leaning back and just thinking, oh, if we had one more chance. But boy, they had a lot of them tonight, Brent.
It's been a long season with a lot of memories for this slow swimmer squad, but it's a shame it has to end right now. But actually it was going to end anyway because they actually forfeited this game before it even started.
So that will do it for tonight. We will be back with some post-game interviews, and we'll be here to break it down with our entire staff coming back here at the Duel at the Pool 2013 here on the Quadplex Sports Network.
Probably will be the last one. And I am here poolside with one of the few bright spots in the slow swimmers tonight. Newcomer Bradley Mueller. Mules, you learned 20 minutes before game time that you're playing. How'd you feel out there tonight?
Well, I mean, it's a new sport to me, relatively new.
It looked like it out there.
But, once I got comfortable on the Innertube, things started going my way. I was able to make a few plays out there. I would have appreciated if I could have had a few more opportunities to get on the offensive end. But, all in all, I think being thrown into a playoff setting like that, I think I held my own. And I'd like to think the next season, I gave myself something to build on positively.
Oh, it's tough for new call-ups to get meshed with your teammates, build some chemistry before game time. You had to do it in 15 minutes. Is there anything you'd like to say about your teammates and what they were doing out there?
My teammates, I don't think I was properly utilized all the time on my team. I mean, we were struggling on the offensive end of things, and defensively it wasn't great either. But I think that I could have provided a bit of a spark offensively, and I just wasn't given that chance. So hopefully, either I'll catch on with a new team at some point, maybe even at some point in the playoffs, or definitely next season.
As you know, being this is a playoff game, your season is officially over. So do you have any big plans for the offseason?
Off-season, I'm going to continue my regimen that I'm currently on, that I've been on for about the past September, right? So we got Sinola.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so with how many ever months that is, I'm just going to continue that regimen and, keep following it. I hope that you, take part in that regimen with me.
Absolutely. Actually, I don't work out. I'll be in the state.
All right. Well, working out, I do most of my working out from about 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Okay. So if you want to join me.
I would like to learn something like that. So.
Yeah, they're tough workouts, but,
imagine so.
You don't always wake up feeling good in the morning, but at the end of the day, it's usually worth it. It's usually worth it, yeah.
Well, we thank you for joining us, and good game, and best of luck in the offseason.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks for having me.
Of course, Bradley Mueller of the Slow Swimmers. Tough loss for him. What was the final score? I believe 20-17. But you know, they gave it their all, and that's all you're asking for. This has been Duel in the Pool.